Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business. 4 days, 17 hours, 17 minutes, and 30 seconds away from kickoff against the Detroit Lions. And guys, let me at least take care of some business here first. I received an email from a person who said that I need to be more professional because of some of the noises and swallowing that I make. And I apologize to you guys, but I have a respiratory issue that I really just can't control, and I figure it's actually better for me to swallow as opposed to throw up on camera. So forgive me, and if it really and truly bothers you, feel free to unsubscribe, stop sending me emails, stop commenting on the channel, and hang with your own brethren. And also, if you're interested, we're doing a big tailgate at FedEx Field. Right now, I believe it's about 35 plus people who said they're going, and it's about 100 people that are interested in going. So we're literally going to take over FedEx Field, and hopefully we'll get a victory against the Washington stinking Redskins. And I guess I don't really have room to say anybody else is stinking the way our team has been. Let's be honest here, guys. Our team stinks right now. It sucks. It hurts me to say that. It hurts for me to admit it, but Dak Prescott sucking up the joint. Stinks. Can't complete a pass downfield. Offensive line, giving up 11 sacks. Stinks. Wide receivers can't get open. Can't get separation. Can't hold on to the ball. Zeke Elliott has had some good runs, but is having brain farts and making mistakes, stepping out of bounds, fumbling the ball, dropping the ball. It stinks with the coaching, the play calling. Every phase of the offense is putrid. And it's been that way now for about 10 games. You know, I'm a glass half full guy. In fact, I'm happy that I even have a glass. That's how positive I am. So let's try and look at some of the positive things. As putrid as this offense has been, and it's been putrid, our defense is keeping us in the games. We're 1-2. We got to win in our division. We're only one game out of first place in our division. There's nobody out there other than maybe the Rams that look to be head and shoulders above everybody else, but they've lost 2 cornerbacks now. The season is not over, but you have to do better than what we're doing. So as bad as it's been, we haven't been blown out. We've had opportunities still in the fourth quarter. If we can play just a little bit better each week, you got a chance every week because of the defense. Now, make no mistake, I've never been a fan of Jason Garrett or Scott Linehan. And I have the group, you know, with E2 Blue, DMV, Dallas Cowboys, Foots, myself, Michael Anthony, Clarence Missing and Thomas Missing in action. And we've been discussing in Law Nation, discussing about what's going on and how bad the offense has been. And I still say that, listen, I look at Jason Garrett and I don't see where they have ever developed players. There's guys that have left our team that have been Pro Bowlers and have Super Bowl rings. You look at a Danny Amendola, or you look at a Marty B, or last night, Ryan Switzer getting a touchdown. Ryan Switzer, who we gave away and kept the guy we traded for, he's got as many touchdowns as any of our receivers on the team. In fact, he's got as many touchdown passes as we have on the team. But they're deemed guys that don't fit our system, that don't work. And when I look at the quarterbacks that we've had through here, Bill Parcells and Sean Payton developed Tony Romo. But when you look at having Brandon Wheaton on your team, and I know it's not cream of the crop, but Brandon Wheaton, you look at having Matt Castle, John Kitna, Cooper Rush, you have not gotten anything out of the quarterback. So the question is it coaching? And as I put it in that group, I said, it's time to move on from Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan. Foot's comment was, well, yeah, you can fire him, but you still got trash Dak. But I still go back to, if you have a coach who teaches how to play, how to improve things, is Dak unimprovable? Because he was playing better before. He's just completely regressed. And generally speaking, if you're in a system where they're working on teaching you more and more so you get better down the road, you're not regressing. You follow what I'm saying there? But be that as it may, we've got Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan. And listening to the press conference, Jason Garrett's not taking over play calling. He's not going to do anything with Linehan. He says there's more problems than just play calling. And that's true. And more than likely, he's not going to go through and read the riot act to the press and things. Now, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. If everybody is acting like we got this, everything's hunky-dory and we're great, it may be totally different behind closed doors. But what I always try and do when I have a problem is I try to identify the problem and figure out what we can do differently to make a difference. So let's look at the Dallas Cowboys statistics. Jobu, you might need a refill because it's painful looking at this. We are averaging 13.7 points a game, 31st in the NFL. We have 277.7 yards per game, not passing, total offense per game. 30th in the NFL. Can you believe there's two teams worse than that? Passing yards, 145, 31st. Rushing yards, 132.6. Wait a minute, hold it. You mean we're in the top 10 in a category? We're 7th in rushing? Wow. Okay, all right, so you got something to work with. Okay, so let's start thinking about the problem we got with Dak. Dak is getting sacked a lot. Some of that is Dak holding on to the ball too long. Some of that is the play taking too long to develop. Some of that is the offensive line is not doing the job. Now, I always remember being an offensive lineman, and most of you guys who have played offensive line will probably agree with me. I always liked running the ball more than pass blocking. Because the difference is running is like attacking. Passing is like defense. You're putting more weight on your knuckles are getting white, and you are driving and attacking, or you're pulling, where you've got a load that's going to hit somebody. When you're pass blocking, you're stepping backwards, and you're waiting for somebody else to hit you or make a move, and you've got to adjust. So the first thing you start looking at is if you've got problems with the offensive line, especially in passing, you got to go to a quicker passing route. 3 and 5 step dropbacks. When you look at going into the Seattle game, Seattle had given up 12 sacks in 2 games. And you looked at our defensive line and said, man, they're going to be going crazy. But what Seattle did was they said, hey, wait a minute. We're going against that Dallas Cowboys pass rush. We can't just sit back there and let Russell Wilson stand back there. So they went to 3 and 5 yard steps, quick hitters. And they ran the hell out of the football. They rushed for 36 times. They only got 2.6 yards a carry, but they kept their quarterback clean. You follow what I'm saying here? If the only thing we got going on that's doing good is rushing. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because, when I talked about this before, people said, well, we were behind, so we had to pass to try and catch up. You understand that we're getting 5.7 yards per pass completion right now, right? Let me say that again. We're getting 5.7 yards per pass completion. Well, guess what? Zeke Elliott. Let's go down here. Zeke Elliott by himself is averaging 5.7 yards. The same thing we're averaging in passing. Now, of course, if you stay in bounds, the clock doesn't stop. But here's the amazing thing. When you look at these numbers for rushing, take a look at this. I hope you guys can see this. Zeke's run the ball 48 times in 3 games. Yet he's getting 5.7 yards a carry. Dak has rushed 14 times, average 6.1 yards per carry. Austin, 3 carries, 11.4. Rod Smith, 1 carry, 5 yards. Nobody has averaged under 5 yards a carry running the football. Yet, Zeke Elliott gets about on average 16 carries a game. All right. The Detroit Lions, who just beat Tom Brady, holding him to 133 yards passing. Their pass defense is ranked number 1, giving up only 152 yards a game. Their run defense is 31st, giving up 145 yards a game. So that would say, going into this game, because we're 31st in passing and 7th in running, the game plan for this needs to be run the ball. Flat out. Zeke Elliott has to have more than 16 carries. You've got to get him to about 25. And the passing game, because here's another thing you have to start looking at. Cole Beasley is averaging 11 yards reception. I'm good with that. 12 receptions. He's doing his share. But look at Austin. 16.2 yards per reception. Clearly, you've got to get the ball in 2 guys' hands right now. Zeke Elliott and Austin. And if you can get Zeke Elliott with the ball, you can start getting him going downhill. You can start getting him picking up those yards against that Lions rush defense that's not good. You start doing some play action, quick hitting play action. You do some run pass options. You end up rolling Dak out of the pocket. See, this is where our team is not creative. To me, I keep seeing us do the exact thing like you can't deviate. This is our plan that we're going to do every week, and we can't change it. But you have to understand the dynamics of the team that you're facing. And clearly, the Lions aren't good at stopping the run. Clearly, the only thing we have going for us is running the ball. And clearly, you have to get Zeke Elliott more than 16 carries a game. And once you start doing that, once you start getting your offensive line feeling confident because they're getting a KO block, you get a Lyle Collins on a sweep outside and knocking down 2 guys. You get a Zach Martin going up and knocking the snot out of a linebacker instead of always trying to pass. Because to me, this is the problem with Jason frickin' Garrett, is he always reverts to the damn pass too frickin' often. We've had game after game that when it's up, we've got a lead and we're still passing the freaking ball. Last year when Zeke went out, you had Alfred Morris who was averaging almost 5 yards a carry, and we did the exact same thing where you only ran him 10, 12, 15 times. You need to help protect your quarterback. You need to get some confidence in them. And that, my friends, is coaching. So I pray that tomorrow when the players show up, that this coaching staff has come up with a different game plan. Run the ball. Quick hitters. Run pass options. To start getting this offense to start getting a couple of things to feel good about. Then you go and add more to it. And this game is a perfect opportunity to do just that. You're not playing on the road in Seattle with all that noise. You're playing at home where we know it's not real loud because there's so much to do at AT&T against a Lion defense that is not good at stopping the run. This is the perfect game to reestablish. Football's not that complicated, and sometimes I feel like Jason Garrett outsmarts himself. Run the football. But as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Don't worry, friends. It will get better. I'm not ready to give up on this team. I love my Dallas Cowboys. I will see you guys later.